Happy New Year, everyone. Many Cameroonians have asked us for a summary of President Biya's New Year speech, and I will try to do that in just a few minutes. At 91 years old, President Biya, who's been in power for over 4 decades, that's 40 years and counting, addressed Cameroonians on December 31st, 2024. This is probably going to be his last address to the whole nation before this year's election, given that on the 10th of February, that is prior to the National Youth Day, his address will be only to Cameroonian youths. His 27-minute speech touched on everything from the economy, health, security, and even the upcoming presidential election. One thing that came across from most of the comments asked by Cameroonians is whether Biya actually understands the challenges that are plaguing the nation. In his address or in his speech, President Paul Biya claimed that Cameroon is being praised by foreign financial partners for its resilience and strengthening economic growth, which he said stands at 3.8%, an increase from last year, he said. He also claimed that inflation dropped from 7.4% in 2023 to 5% in 2024. Well, those are a lot of figures, which could be a little bit complicated for ordinary Cameroonians like you and I to understand. But these statistics sound impressive on paper, right? To those who understand, but the reality on the ground actually tells a different story. Prices of goods and services are at all-time high in Cameroon, making life harder for ordinary citizens. Even attempts by his own ministers to bring down prices during the festive period did not work. Prices are still very high. Basic commodities, the prices are very, very high in Cameroon across the national territory. Now, on security, Biya addressed the Boko Haram insurgency in the far north region and the ongoing crisis in the northwest and the southwest regions of the country. He warned those holding arms that they will be tracked and punished if they didn't drop them, saying Cameroon, in quote, will remain one and indivisible. Remember that this speech has been ongoing since the crisis in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon started in 2016. He called this the essence of his mandate and promised never to fail in delivering on it. But he has not been able to address the Anglophone crisis or stop the Boko Haram war in the far north region of Cameroon. Now, we have heard this over and over again. And at the end, all we see are young Cameroonians being killed every day. People can call them whatever name, but the fact remains that whether soldiers or separatists, it is young Cameroonians desperate for a better country who end up being killed, not members of the Biya government. Now, Biya also admitted that 2024 was a tough year, marked by bad governance and corruption. He promised to fight corruption, but failed to name names or give names of those corrupt officials within his government. How can you fight corruption when you cannot identify the corrupt officials, those who are stealing government money or money from government coffers and impoverishing the country? How can you do that? Let's not forget that investigations into COVID funds or the Glencore bribery case, where government officials were implicated and accused of receiving bribes to sell old cheap oil, there's been no outcome of the investigations. What's been done about all of this by the government? We see even opposition leaders like Barrister Akarimuna, raising this issue, but nothing is being done. Now, on industrialization, Biya mentioned progress, like commissioning a Sith cement plant, which he said has lowered cement prices. But are prices of cement low in Cameroon? You tell me in the comment section. But what about other needs as well? While he praised efforts to improve living conditions and access to social services, he only highlighted electricity supply from Lompanga and the Nakshika Dam, which he talks about every year. We never see how much it is improving the living conditions of ordinary Cameroonians. Now, meanwhile, Cameroonians still struggle daily with power outages. Fun fact, while he was even speaking to the nation on the 31st of December 2024, there was power outage in Biya. the southwest region of Cameroon. Now, on the upcoming election, many expected Biya to announce he wouldn't run again given his age. Instead, he talked about challenges like voter registration issues due to lack of ID cards and dual nationality debate, which has been ongoing in Cameroon for so many years now. He didn't say he will run or not, but in his words, he said that your trust is both an honor and a compass for my actions. I'm quoting him in steering our beloved and beautiful country. What does that mean when you are supposed to be saying that I am satisfied that I've been able to serve the nation? You're saying your trust. So we don't know whether President Paul Biya is going to be standing in 2025. Only time will tell. Now, President Biya could simply not address, President Biya could not simply address the issue of dual nationality once and for all. And he wasn't the only one also addressing the nation on the 31st of December. We saw opposition leaders like Cabral Libi, Maurice Kamto, Honorable Joshua Osi, Barrister Akere Muna, and also Barrister Michel Doki, sharing their own messages to Cameroonians. Cabral Libi, who spoke only in French, ignoring the English-speaking population in Cameroon, said that the country is ruined under Biya's leadership. Kamto promised that if he is elected, Cameroon will co-host the 2034 World Cup with 3 other African nations, which is something that has never happened before. Meanwhile, Joshua Osi highlighted educational challenges, power abuse, and bad governance, promising a system where rich or the poor, everyone in the country would have equal access to education. Now, Barrister Akere Mona presented a pidgin version of his address, and in which he was expressing solidarity with people who suffered disasters in 2024. We saw it affected a lot of Cameroonians. He spoke actually in pidgin, which is a language that every Cameroonian can understand, whether English-speaking Cameroonian, French-speaking Cameroonians, even those that cannot speak both languages properly can actually understand Pidgin English. So he was speaking to the common man. Now, finally, Barrister Michel Doki wrote on her social media page, telling Cameroonians that they need to work to create change, not wait for it. So what do you think? Does Biya's speech reflect Cameroon's reality? And what do you make of the opposition's promises? Because for the first time, we are seeing opposition leaders taking the bull, like what we call the bull by the horns, by the end of the year, not criticizing what Biya says, but promising, saying what they think that would work for Cameroonians. So in a way, they are some sort of presenting their manifestos, what they would do if they eventually become presidents, if they are elected into office. Tell us what you think in the comment section. What do you think the future of Cameroon will be like this 2025? We'll continue this discussion, and it's just about to begin. It's a busy political year in Cameroon, and we here at MMI would keep you busy as well with the discussions, with the questions that matter, with the pertinent analysis that matter, to talk about things that have to do with our country. Thank you for watching, and once again, Happy New Year!